Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is game number 2 of Navi versus mouz, your loser bracket / consolation finals for the Premier League Masters. I am LD. Joining me is Luminous. In game 1 was kind of a drawn-out affair, especially with the long pause we had there. But in the end, Navi take it one game away from knocking out mousesports, advancing to the grand finals for this tournament. First prize is $1,000 for that winning team. And well, Lumi, off the bat, Navi again with the first pick Venomancer. This has to be setting up for the TA.
It's a very, very beautiful foreshadowing. I think I might be reading some Shakespearean or something right now. But that TA, do expect that thing from either being picked up at number 3, depending how Puppy thinks, how quickly that might be banned. I mean, mouz might even have to force to use a ban on TA. I say force. I mean, she's a great hero, but whether she's ban material worthy, differs from team to team. But Shaker and Rubik is going to be the same pick. And mousesport, despite that they lost the last game, very comfortable with the lineup. And now with Dendy Invoker, rejoice, my friends.
Well, you say Dendy Invoker. I mean, didn't they run Invoker and Tinker, and he ended up playing the Tinker? I would probably be Havost on that. Like you said, he normally does play Tinker for Navi, but you never know. So either way, they get a big global option here. The Tinker as well as the Invoker. If they want to go that Exhort build especially, a lot of control for Navi, some strong laners. I'm not sure how much room there is for TA in this lineup now. They could fit it in, but it means another hero who doesn't have not real lockdown to work with. So,
at your service.
For the moment, mousesport's just going to take Windrunner, and, well, you expect a TA ban here. It wouldn't surprise me either. But we'll have to see. We'll just have to see.
Maybe not a TA ban now, considering that Tinker and the Tinker is already picked up. So. Right. It's, like you say, it lowers the possibility, but it remains a possibility, though. Very surprised to not see Enigma or Leshrac being picked or banned so far in this stage of the game. I assume those of them go. High Hunter has been a hero that's been somewhat ignored lately as well. And I think mousesport might not be picking that one up, considering that they do have dual support of Rubik and Earthshaker. Again, I assume Rubik's on support, but could always go in the solo mid position.
Yeah, Navi have some really strong laning heroes. Mousesport's a bit of team fight, some decent laners themselves as well. Very strong defensively with the Earthshaker, the Windrunner, and the Telekinesis to throw heroes back, pull them into towers. But we've seen what Navi can do with this Invoker, with the Tinker. And giving two heroes that have so much potential to get out of hand in a hurry, that's a scary thing to give up. So the question for mouz is going to be, what is their game plan for locking these two down? Who is going to lane against the Invoker? Who is going to lane against the Tinker? I will say Rubik and Windrunner are pretty strong solos in their own right, if they want to run them as such. So we'll have to see. But I'd just be very nervous about giving Navi these heroes, and I feel like mouz needs something big to try and lock them down beyond what they have. I mean, whether it's a jungler, an aggressive carry like a Morphling that gives you some burst damage. I feel like right now this is some good utility, but just not enough to deal with these two.
Yep, I completely agree. Enigma's going to get the ban, not too surprising here. This draft is kind of rudimentary, I feel like. It's very simple, aside from the Venomancer, kind of eyebrow-rising kind of first pick. But yeah, everything else is pretty okay. Chen finally is going to get the ban here. Again, in this stage, it's like Chen, especially against Navi. You ban the Chen, but you give him something like Naga, you give him something like, Prophet. Right. Do you actually want to just face the Chen instead?
I don't know. I mean, I
mean, Chen wasn't too effective last game, to be honest with you.
Oh, it's going to be Lone Druid, I was about to say. That's another hero that Navi... I mean, everybody seems to like this combo. And when you... Keeper is the reply. But whenever you pick up a Tinker, it feels like most teams that do it, MTW, another notable one, they go for the Lone Druid as well. And then it gives you that split push, that tanky presence. And together, these two could be real bullies. Lone Druid in the front lines, the Bear doing a lot of damage, tanking it up, and then Tinker just all over the fight, blinking around, force-staffing around, spamming rockets, spamming March, and that's the other nice thing about Tinker, is he really zones out the opposing team, especially those squishy supports, with the March spam, the missile spam, and that's where Lone Druid can walk up to the tower and start doing that bulldozing work. But it's a Keeper of the Light reply, and, well, Lumi, I'd be very curious to hear your thoughts about this one.
Well, Keeper plus Shaker, you already have two great long-range AoE. Would not be surprising for mousesport to pick up another and do actually a trialing. I know trialing is definitely not the flavor of the month, but they could definitely do it. Phantom Lancer is a great addition to this. If they want to go that route, I have no idea if they do. In terms of defensive capability, again, Shaker and Illuminate, great for that as well. Mana Leak as well as Blinding Light should be paid attention to here as well, because Invoker and Tinker will just get completely shredded by the Mana Leak. It drains a whole bunch.
Whoa!
And it's X!
Whoa!
Creep skipping time, jungling time. I have no clue. I don't even know why Axe is going to be good here, but we have an Axe.
We have an axe. Say no more. Say no more. We have an axe. I mean, that's all there is to say. It doesn't, like you said, it doesn't particularly hard counter anything Mouse have. He can be very aggravating to deal with when you're pushing, though, because you throw a couple of Battle Hungers, especially on those squishy supports, whether it's the Rubik, the Shaker, or the Keeper of the Light. And either they get rid of the Battle Hunger, which means there's relatively small mana pools being sort of chewed up, or they just take damage and run away. I mean, you got... Oh, it's a Morphling, so... But there's no black. Who's going to play this?
Calculus, right? Doesn't he play the hard carry for Wolves?
I guess he will. We'll have to see. Well, no, he played Enigma last game, so... I think it's... Isn't it... Oh, Balsam. I think it's Balsam who plays carry for Wolves.
Yeah. Oh, I think he played the hard carry back in the old Nevo or whatever they were called. They had 8 names, so I apologize that I forgot one of their many. In any case... It's an Axe. It's not going to do anything aside from either Battle Hunger. I mean, actually, when it's in pro game, I've never seen Axe go with the Battle Hunger build. It's the good old, the spin and the Berserker call. They just run in and do work.
Well,
hopefully,
here's what it gives you, is you have a lot of heroes that need solo, and this gives you a jungler. So that's one way of looking at it. Now, who else was available as a jungler? Enchantress, I guess? But there weren't too many left.
There's a puppy double Midas jungling Silver.
Oh, that's true. It could be that. It could be. This could be a Lady Axe. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised for it to go either way. Who's actually playing it? It is Puppy, so it looks like it will be a jungle Axe. And let's go ahead and introduce all our players here. Puppy playing that Axe. Dendy on his signature Invoker. Hibos going to be on the Tinker. Light of Heaven on the Lone Druid. Art going to be on that Venomancer. And boy, does he have his work cut out for him with the support. There's really no secondary support here. I mean, I guess Puppy will perform that role, but Axe needs items to be effective. At least some... He doesn't need a lot, but... You'd like maybe a Vitality booster.
I've definitely seen Puppy play a hero like this in the jungle, like it's a jungle Storm or a jungle Axe, and he will buy wards still.
Right.
Even though his hero needs it, so...
But Axe would like, a Vitality boost or a Tranquil boots, maybe a Soul Ring or Arcane boots. I mean, Axe needs some items. Let's make no mistake about it. This is a hero that relies pretty much on being in the front lines, taking damage to get counter heroes off. So if you don't have that HP, if you don't have those tank items, well, you're going to melt, especially to this team. Like you said, Mouse have so much longer range. But that's Navi. Why don't you go ahead and introduce Mouse?
Yeah, it's going to become with me on the carry once again. It's becoming a trend today as they're switching roles a little bit up. 1437 going to be playing Shaker for a second game in a row. Sexy Bamboo on that old man. He generally plays a very, very mobile-heavy hero. We're seeing things like Queen of Pain, Brewmother. I mean, he's got 315 base movements because he's on a horse, but aside from that, it's a very immobile, slow hero. Calculus is going to be handling Windrunner, and then we're going to have Rubik being handled by Sing Sing. I want to say now we're going to see a solo mid Rubik, right?
Well,
we have a Trillium of some sort.
I mean, you have so many other heroes that can support. Keeper of the Light, Earthshaker, even Windrunner can. But I believe it will be the Earthshaker and the Keeper of the Light performing those support duties, and I mean, I think Sing Sing will be going mid, so... Well, how else are they going to late it? Sing Sing's mid, you mentioned the tri-lane, maybe? Maybe we'll see Calculus solo top and an offensive tri-lane? I don't know what they're going to do.
Okay, if you want to go really crazy about this, Rubik plays a support in the lane and Sexy Bamba go mid. Keeper mid is not that bad, to be honest. Like, he actually wins the lane
but here's my question. Is it that good? Is it worth giving
him
a solo?
No, it's not that good. It's pretty bad, actually.
Well, he can push the lane really hard with Illuminate. That's nice. He can give himself.
You can do that anywhere in any lane, as any row. Doesn't need to be solo mid, and the guy doesn't use farm that well. I mean, if you get a quick hex, it's always good, but yeah.
Well, we'll just have to see what they want to do with the lanes. We do have a pause. It appears Sing Sing is AFK, but should be returning soon. So Mouse are the ones at the deficit here, Lumi. They are down 0-1. If they drop this game, they're knocked out of the event. So a little bit more pressure on them. And Navi can fool around a little, and maybe that's why we're seeing the Axe here.
Although I'm not sure whether they're... I don't know. When Navi picks something crazy, and sometimes they lose those games because they're picking a little bit crazy, people will be like, oh man, they messed around, they lost because of that, they're usually very good. I don't know. I feel like Navi a lot of times, they might be picking crazy, but it's no intention of fooling around.
Right. It's experimenting. They're experimenting.
Experimenting is another way to go about it. I mean, if you think about it, Navi, if they win this match, they have a best of 5 waiting for them, down a game. So they have to win 3 more in that series as well. They have a long day. They don't have time to fool around. Or they do maybe, but, I don't want them to full round. Let's go, Navi. Got a long day in front of us.
I, of course, would prefer to see this go to a Game 3, because, hell, I think that's more exciting. So I guess we each have our own rooting interests here.
Yeah.
Guys, again, for anybody just tuning in, this is game number 2, Navi versus Mouse Sports. This is your consolation/loser bracket finals. Whoever loses this game, or whoever loses this series, is knocked out. The winner goes on to face MTW, and like Lumi said, whoever wins this series has to win 3 games out of those. Well, I would say in the best out of 5, but MTW start with a 1-game lead, so MTW only need 2 wins. Whoever wins this series would need 3. So either way, we have at least 1 more game here, and then at least 2 games in that series. So minimum 3, could go as high as 5. We'll just have to see if Mouse can pull it off. I mean, that's really the question. Will they be able to deal effectively with this rather unorthodox line? I mean, although there's an axe in it, Lumby, there's a lot of potent heroes on this team who we know can be very effective. The Lone Druid, the Invoker, the Tinker. Great split push, great sort of triple semi-carry strat coming out, and it's a lot of burst damage too. I mean, just general, Navi has a little bit of everything. I guess the one thing they're a little lacking in is reliable disable. But aside from that, they've got a lot going for them.
I mean, they have enough slows. I feel like the axe coming out of jungle, which we haven't talked too much about, has a lot of options for the gank. You can stay in the jungle and do stuff. You could wrap it around behind tier 1, do a creep skip and make sure the bot tower gets pushed. You can gank the mid lane. Cold Snap plus Battle Hunger is no joke. It is insane. Venomous Scale setting up on the bot lane for a gank, again, very, very good. So this actually has options. And that's always a good thing to have. You never want to be in the jungle and be like, well, I'm getting 3 lanes push and I can't do anything for my team. This is going to be completely the opposite.
Yeah, we'll just have to see. I mean, Axe is a hero that can come out of the jungle and do some good harassment, with the Battle Hunger. He can also try and set things up. You got Gale to slow heroes down, and then you can get in range for that call. So I do think Navi, it's not a bad hero to have coming out of the jungle for ganks. It's not an Enigma or any sort of dominant jungle ganker like a Chen, but Puppy could make it work. He definitely could. So we'll just have
Puppy could fail horribly. I have seen that as well. I've seen him done things like Storm Jungle and Shadow Demon Jungle, and it looks cute at first, and then
the Shadow Demon Jungle was actually, I think, by and large, very effective. But yeah, the Storm did not work out so well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Shadow Demon is a great jungler, but he's just better here on lane. So
speaking of which, that Smoke of Deceit, I guess it's fair to call it a bug now. That's been fixed, so you can't really smoke jungle anymore. It wouldn't help Axe because
they fixed it.
Because Axe relies on things attacking him to jungle quickly.
Right.
But for a hero like Shadow Demon, yeah, it's been
or Darkseer.
Yeah, what happens now is if you're actually smoked, the creeps will all just randomly disperse in different directions. I guess it's randomized, so it's better to just let's say you're Darkseer, you just throw the Ion Shell on the creeps, and then they just chase you instead of all.
Do it the honest man's way.
Yeah, no more shortcuts for y'all. You gotta earn that gold and that experience. Back in my day.
Back in my days. Well, you know what? The ancient jungling Tinker is available.
Right.
I'm gonna say that Havos would not be doing it this game, but that does not require smoke.
I think if we were gonna see that, it would have been a Puppy Tinker. So,
it would be. Yeah, you're right.
So in terms of lanes for Navi, let's talk about that. Light of Heaven will probably be going top. Most likely we'll see Havos bottom supported by Arsart. Dendy's going to head mid, and then Puppy most likely defensive jungling to start things off. And, well, that gives them I mean, these are all great heroes to have in those respective lanes. For me, the big question is, how's Mouse going to lane this one? Are they going to run an offensive or defensive tri-lane? Are they going to run dual lanes? Are they maybe going to dual lane even mid? I mean, where do you see these guys laning, and how are they going to match up against Navi?
Okay, he went AFK, he's ready. Alright, Sing Sing. I mean, the star is late to the party, right? Had a very important phone call. Alright. Okay, not. Maybe.
Alright, Louis, answer my question. How are Mouse going to lane this, and how do you see that?
Tri-lane bot.
Tri-lane bot.
Tri-lane bot.
I'm assuming that's
my gut feeling could be wrong.
The Shaker, Morphling, and Keeper of the Light, right?
Yes. It's a very offensive tri-lane.
See,
and they could do a lot of work with it.
I feel like tri-lanes are very dangerous against Tinker.
Oh, come with me, wrong direction! No!
Is he gonna solo?
Alright, tri-lane top.
Maybe he's gonna solo.
No.
Changes his mind.
Oh man.
See, here's the thing about if you. All right, get your head in the game.